can't gas me up. Shout out to Elon Musk. Yeah, I got a sold out show.
In 2025? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerry Bees. So last week we had revisited Frank Ocean and reacted to his debut album, Channel Orange. And I felt like this week we should go ahead and revisit another artist that we haven't reacted to in quite some time. And an earlier album from that artist at that. And it just seems to be fitting that it's one of Frank Ocean's friends and Tyler, the Creator, as today we are going to react to Flower Boy. Flower Boy came out in 2017, and I could have sworn this came out when I was in high school. I graduated high school in 2016. I know I'm old. You don't have to tell me. I mean, this album cover with the bees is so iconic, and I didn't sign off on this. Jerry Bees did not sign off on his use of bees, so I will talk to Tyler at a later date. But I will excuse him only for the fact that Igor and Chromacopia, the two albums that we've reacted to from Tyler so far, have been exquisite, marvelous, stupendous, superb. And even if you didn't really like those albums from him, I think the main takeaway with Tyler, especially with those two albums, Igor especially, being not only narrative driven, but laying down these themes in ways that I had never seen an album laid out. You know, these ideas across songs that are kind of intertwined. And I hadn't seen it because I'm not the biggest hip-hop guy. You know, I think I usually give this disclaimer whenever we're reacting to a more hip-hop centered act here. But I would like to change that with the more albums that I react to. I wish to maybe be a little bit more confident, a little bit more familiar with the hip-hop that we're reacting to. And Flower Boy is going to add to that for me today. So if you haven't watched my other Tyler, the Creator reactions, make sure you go ahead and check those out on this channel. But if you want to see any of my other reactions before they come out on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and check out the link to my Patreon down in the description, where you can get just that for $1 and some other tiers with some other perks. If you ever want to catch us live, make sure you click one of the other links down in the description, and I will be announcing what I'm reacting to and when on my YouTube channel and for free on my Patreon. So this is it. This is Flower Boy. I've heard many good things about this album, although I know that Tyler supposedly was maybe a little bit more politically incorrect, and I'm not gonna knock it for that. You know, I don't want to say that this is like you know, like, oh no, these aren't, I don't like those lyrics, those aren't good. You know, you can say shocking things for effect. We haven't really seen that a ton in Igor or Chromacopia, but I just know that that's something that's been said about Tyler, the Creator, is that maybe his use of language was a little much. But honestly, I find a lot of hip hop to, like, that seems to be true with a lot of hip hop. I mean, JPEG Mafia, holy shit. You know, if you checked out that video I put out, that was just crazy. So I guess that's the litmus. Is this crazier than JPEG as far as other shit that we've reacted to here on the channel? But without further ado, this is Flower Boy, Tyler, the Creator, 2017, 14 songs, 46 minutes, 39 seconds. We are starting out with Forward, featuring Rex Orange County, and I believe we've seen him before as well.
I run out of drive. How much drive can I have until I run out of road? How much road can they pave until I run out of land? How much land can it be until I run in the ocean? Niggas go with the motions and all the plans. See, I'm sick of sitting in doubt. Please let me figure this out. Shout out to the girls that I let on for occasional head and always keeping my bed warm and trying their hardest to keep all. You better shoot that nigga, cause if that cop got triggered, he better pull. Cause when I get pulled over, I usually play cool. Cause I know what I'm driving is usually paid in full, and my ego and possessions will not let me be one B. Cause I got a mansion, my mansion got some rooms, and rooms got some windows, and my falling don't come back. Who's gonna know? Maybe I'll know. I'm one come back. No.
I like that nice sweeping sound we got there at the very end. So that was Forward, the opening track here off of Flower Boy. And I just realized, you know, you got all those flowers there for Flower Boy, and the bees pollinate the goddamn flowers. That makes sense. But for this song, you know, I think already with the theme, it's an easy way to start up an album. And we see this a lot on the channel with saying start, right? That's the name of the first track, or begin or something. So Forward, I mean, to me, obviously, okay, we now begin. You know, a book can open up with a forward, you know, by another author or the same author. So I kind of like that theme because that's kind of referenced within the song. Maybe not explicitly, though. Maybe a little bit more metaphorically, in the sense he's going somewhere and talking about maybe he's not coming back to that, and then analyzing the environment around him. So obviously we have all this social commentary, you know, and we can talk forever about all of the, you know, strife and anguish that has to do with race relations in the United States as they pertain to law enforcement. So how many riots can it be until then Black Lives Matter? And so these were coming up. So and this album is maybe not coming off the heels, but, you know, I think the Black Lives Matter movement really got put center stage at around 2015, I believe. So this is coming when that's still the top of everybody's mind. And even still, you know, I think, you know, it was until, you know, maybe 2020, you know, with a lot of the stuff that we saw there, that really got brought back into the public consciousness. We may have a slight check on accuracy here. Got a chat here that says Tyler kind of changed his sound for this album before. He tried studying what he and others liked in albums and music, made it more personal and less aggressive than his older stuff. Okay, so maybe this isn't coming from, you know, that more not very PC side of Tyler that I had always been told about. And that's ringing true here. You know, this first song lays out a sound that's very easygoing and it's very mellow and introspective. So it's definitely not very aggressive, although Tyler does tend to still put that in to his albums from what we've seen in Chromacopia and Igor. So I'm excited to see how he balances that out. If this was the first album that he had kind of decided to switch up his sounds by the sound of it, I guess. It's my second favorite after Igor. How did you enjoy Chromacopia? Because I thought Chromacopia was pretty damn good. I don't think it was as great as Igor was, but it was still very good. And so we're moving along here, folks. We're moving along. Where the Flower Blooms featuring Mr. Frank Ocean. Let's give this a spin.
Dope. Now I skirt. That was the only dream that I can afford. Now I roll through the
I ride to California. Beach frog over goggles. I'm leaning out the window. OJ shining on me. Simpson shining on me. Slick surface flow, bro, off this world.
What'd you say? I glow. I rock. I roll. I glow.
That's catchy.
I roll. My time. I glow. Let's go. They need a skin. I keep the top low cause the follicle's thinning. But other than that, man, it feels like I'm winning. Went from statistic to millionaire. Seeing and doubting cause my skin is dark. Then they forget when I get in my car.
Slick surface flow, bro, off this world. Run it, yeah.
I glow. I rock. I roll. You say I glow. Yeah, scroll. Giving niggas life, birdie in the bees, dropping them seeds, not what you want. You don't know what I keep in the trunk. Run it.
So that was Where This Flower Blooms, and I gotta say that one was really good. You know, it's like that main hook, I rock, I roll, I bloom, I grow, was just so catchy. Frank coming in, which is with his like dulcet tone, smooth ass vocals, which we've come to know and love about Frank. And it's so far very fitting of the soundscapes that we're getting, especially towards the end here, you know, where we just get that piano, which I'm pretty sure is Tyler playing that. And a couple just hilarious lyrics here. Oh, where is that? OJ shining on me. Simpson shining on me.
It's good shit,
what
pal.
a lyric. Also, I mean, this was also just like exquisitely produced. You know, I love a fun little pan, right? So especially in the run it. I'm getting run it going in between the ears. So it's not just like it's popping here and popping here in between the right and left channels. It's panning. It's moving to and fro, which I like a lot. I like to have fun, and this is fun so far. So far, the tones of the album are pretty reminiscent of the album cover. You know, hey, let's not judge a book by its cover. I mean, it's such an iconic cover, and just that gradient as we get from the yellow to the orange to those brighter tones, warmer tones, I should say. I feel cozy. This is making me feel cozy. I wonder when he's going to scare me, because that tends to happen with him, I think, where whether or not it's like a drop out of nowhere or he gets aggressive, I don't know. See you again. The big hit.
You live in my dream state. Relocate my fantasy. I stay in reality. You live in my dream state.
I wonder if you look both ways when you cross my mind. I said I'm sick of chasing. You're the one that's always running through my daydream.
I'm about to go to war, and I don't know if I'm gonna see you again.
Switch it up. I said, okay, my infatuation it translating to another form of what you call it. Oh yeah, I ain't met you, I've been looking, stopped the waiting for, I stopped the chasing like an alcoholic.
I said I'm sick of chasing. You're the one that's always running through my daydream. I can only see your face when I close my eyes.
So
Can I get a kiss? And can you make it last forever?
Man, well done, Mr. Ty. So there goes that hard switch up that I was talking about. It's like, it's going to happen at some point. It's going to happen at some point, you know, and he, switch it up. And they do switch it up. Really like the pairing here between our two vocalists in this one. And so far, I haven't said this, but it's very apparent here. The composition is really good. You know, I'm hearing like little triangle twinks in the background, right? It's just for a little effect. But I don't think I've ever said this about Tyler's music, but I just get this sense that he loves this shit so much and cares so deeply about music and how emotional it makes him. And I think that really translates well to the finished product. Obviously, you know, this one being like a love song and you can't get somebody out of your head. This is a great lyric. I wonder if you look both ways when you cross my mind. God. So already like really good wordplay here on the production ends of things. The bass was blown out in a couple different parts in this, not blown out in a bad way, but blown out to where it just hugs my ears and tells me it loves me. Oh, and also, I've never heard this song. The song has 2 billion plays. I've never heard it. So, and I don't go on TikTok. I told you I'm old. Told you I'm old as shit. Who Dat Boy? Featuring A$AP Rocky. Ming, 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 ming. Tension is building.
who that boy, who him is, him that nigga, I swear. Stand out guy, him don't need no chair. Well, where the fuck him at? Cause nigga, I'm right here. The boy drip swag like a broken faucet, it's running. Nigga, I'm running. Shit, that cherry be the bomb like he ran in Boston. Won't stop till the cops around him. One nigga jiggy and the other awesome with his.
Why you niggas feel like that? Mad cause a nigga neck shit like that. Mad cause a nigga push real like that. Why you putting bad vibes in the air like that? Nigga, who them is? Nigga, who them is? Who else step in this bitch, this jig? Miss my class. Was it summertime, 06, at the number 9, nigga, never mind. Was another time before Vince. At the Gucci bow tips with the Letterman, nigga, $sign was my favorite number at the time. Mad cause a nigga push real like that. Why you putting bad vibes in it?
Fuck the rap, I'm trying to own a planet from my other fucking business.
Ain't even need attention. Wing sap on the bumper sticker. Fuck you niggas.
Fuck global warming, my neck is so frio. I'm currently looking for 95 Leo. My mom says she's worried because I'm so ill. I should stay in bed, but got.
Fun. Dare I say that so far this album doesn't have an immediate, maybe glaring narrative, anything like that. But I think even without that, you can still try to look for similar themes that run from song to song or through the course of the album, say for maybe a couple songs in between that don't match that theme, but in those songs in between, they match other songs, right? In their themes, in their approach, in their story, if there is one. We've barely started with this album so far, so I'm hesitant to say that. So I won't. But I think if there is something that I've started to notice in all of the albums that I've reacted to from Tyler, the Creator, this being the third one, Igor, Chromacopia being the others, he has this commentary on identity. And it's not, and I think Chromacopia really extended past himself, as opposed to Igor, where it was maybe him grappling with his own identity, so to speak. And so is Chromacopia. It's especially, with I Look Like Him, at the end of the album, which was kind of, I think, the crescendo of things. I thought Chromacopia kind of extended that out to everybody, to where I thought it was very relatable in that sense. And I think we're kind of carrying out that theme here. That seems to be a theme. Let me know if I'm wrong. But, who dat boy? Who is he? And then I think some of the other songs that we've talked about so far, with See You Again, everybody loves somebody or thinks about somebody. So that's like a universal truth thing there. Maybe why so many people like it. But I think it's even telling within. I'm going to go back and talk about the album cover again because it's so damn nice to look at. Chromacopia, he's got the mask on. Here, there's a bee obscuring his face here. So it's not so much like, don't pay attention to this. Pay attention to what I'm putting out. Like, I didn't ask for any of this, but here's what I've worked so hard on. Here are the real ideas I'm trying to put down. And I appreciate how maybe like subtle that is. And then if that's not the case at all, I like it so that I've been able to engage with the music enough to come to that conclusion for me. We'll move on here. This is Pothole with Jaden Smith. Took a break from commenting on the geopolitical climate of the world, the socioeconomic political climate of the world, and joined Tyler, the Creator, and Alexander Breton for this one. Let's peel into it.
Clancy, I fancy him, gotta give him props. He half the reason why dealerships even let me cop. So now I'm speeding and trying to drive away from the fact up. I wanna help, but what you want for some niggas really don't want for themselves. Now do I stay, do I go? That's my dilemma, and traffic is picking up. If I don't leave, I'ma get stuck. So I speed off, we talk barely, and it seems
fishtail in the rear view mirror on him. I had to switch gears on him. Swerve, left turn, steering wheel on him, nigga, that's a pothole. Watch out for the pothole, watch out for
that's golf. So I be prepared for they bites, they all talk. I left the condom in the grass, so fuck off. Watching clans in a mansion with nobody in it. Young successful nigga rob a clan with no windows tinted. Who knows? One day, fuck no, the next day, okay. But fuck y'all, I know that T is 4 for 4. I just want that garden and that Batmobile, good health, success.
So I definitely caught Jaden's verse in that, and obviously Tyler's. Who is this Alexander? Was he the percussionist on this one? This Alexander Breton here. Oh, he's done work with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Some dude that helped with producing probably. Yeah, I was going to say this one was definitely a little bit more jazzy than they usually are. Although there is nothing too foreign about Tyler's music in terms of jazz is concerned. For me, man, I just kept thinking about how I live in Ohio and there's like potholes all year round and they just get like so much worse in the winter. So if you don't know the science behind it, concrete, right? Concrete has pores and water gets down into the pores of the concrete. And when it gets cold, that shit expands. And then because water is just crazy and it's like one of the only liquid that actually expands as it gets cold, and then it contracts when it gets warmer, and then it expands, and then you're left with a bunch of shit that looks like this. To Garden Shed featuring Estelle. Dude, the guitar tones in this album have been insane. Oh, that sounded so nice.
That is why I was hiding. That was real love I was in. Ain't no reason to pretend. Garden shit for the garçons. Couple butterflies wanna float. I was always like, man, really interested, but I bags the brats. My boys like, bruh. This is crucial subject matter. Sensitive like cooking batter. To the temperature that's rising. Stepping on that.
Yeah, winner chicken dinner on that one, folks.
It's good shit, pal.
That was terrific. That was so goddamn good. Yeah, so far, this is like my favorite song on the album. And I was going to say, I got to go back and listen to Igor and Chromacopia again, because so far, this album is the best produced, or at least my favorite produced. I really like how the sounds are coming through, how they're being included, all the different types of sounds. So this one opens up with that, kind of brighter sounding guitar. It's got great reverb on it. The sustain, perhaps. I'm not the techiest music guy in the world, but, it's we're getting that raw sound from the amp. I don't know if that was included in post or he's recording it live, but I like thinking about that. Again, it's allowing me to engage with the music a little bit more. But then we get the synth sounds coming in and how the composition changes over time and it progresses with very few words here. Although these words, I think, are very important to the themes of the album. So I don't know if there's necessarily a narrative or maybe there's just like little vignettes like we saw in Chromacopia. I think Chromacopia was a lot of vignettes of other different things as it pertains to identity. And so there's something about, the bees, the flowers, the blooming. I feel like blooming is so far a very big part of this album. So it's a coming to age story of sorts. So no, really enjoyed this one a lot. Just its sound was just the party in every single way. All right, moving on. Boredom.
and I need some food I can order. But I hate eating solo. Need someone we can lauder in parking lots at sunsets at the border. Yeah, ringy dingy dong. I can't be alone. I've been starting.
Well, we'll pick this one up because it seems as though a lot of these songs do transition into each other. We'll make sure that we get that. I mean, again, you know, I know we got a little bit of it in his other albums that we've reacted to, and like with Frank Ocean, just on the theme of like, you know, reacting to all the odd future that we've reacted to here on the channel just far. But these inclusions of these orchestral these orchestral movements that are in these songs to kind of break up each little section. You know, this isn't your standard hip hop. This isn't your standard R&B with all the guitars, the orchestral stuff, just to bring in just like this bass that just surrounds your head in and out. And it's also like, if we're talking about a coming to age story, right? If I'm running through those themes and that idea, and if I'm going with that theory, this is something that you struggle with. Being bored as hell and wondering who you're spending that time with is even worth it, right? That's kind of what I got out of this one. My friends suck, fuck them, I'm over them, right? You know, and hey, this happens. This happens, right? When you're in high school, you're so sad that you're not going to see any of your friends again. And then you go to college and it's like, wow, I'm actually like, I relate so much more to you. And then it's like, well, wait, maybe the friends I just made in middle school and high school, maybe those were just friends because, you know, we had to be together. Like, we all went to the same fucking school, so of course we had to be friendly. And there's nothing to say that those relationships mean nothing because of that, but there's something missing in the sense of genuine connection there, so to speak, right? So that's how it relates to me. That's how I'm interpreting this. You came here to see this, folks, whether you like it or not. You know, I'm like thinking about like other songs that are just like about, you know, boredom, you know, like, Longview by Green Day, you know, for me coming from a punk rock background, you know, as far as, you know, a genre that I really sunk my teeth into, you know, like that's like an anthem for just being bored as shit. And Tyler doesn't even talk about jerking it in this one. Like, what the fuck? Like, he reached a little bit higher in the tree of lyricism, everybody. Guys, so far, I'm vibing with this one a little bit more than everything else we've listened to from Tyler. I'd say that the other ones were bad. No, actually, Igor fucking sucks. Worst album of all time. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Of course not. But this one's tickling me where I itch. Now you might say, well, don't you scratch an itch? No, we have fun. We have fun here. I ain't got time. You were just talking about all the time you had.
I ain't got time for these niggas. Better throw a watch at the door. I had my boys in this bitch looking like a seminar. Who the fuck you talking to, motherfucker? Boy, I ain't got time. My Phoenix first. Happy birthday! You bitch ass nigga, yup, I'm thirsty. Little shots that you threw, they ain't hurt me. Like, fuck with your bitch looking for a water hose. Who the fuck you talking to, motherfucker? Boy, I ain't got time. So proud of me. Cause all these got they style for me. I bet they all looking from the crowd of me. And if I ask, they already know I slow my shit grow.
Hey. A little callback from earlier.
Find a lot cause man fucked up. I'ma read comments, you gon' leak comments saying what I shoulda did, but you ain't did nada. You ain't important, I'ma keep sporting. All smiles over here, shout out to the big loafer. Green bread, got me chillin' like a clean sofa. It's that thick older, young Millie T. Young fuckers, black boy, oh silly me. I ain't got time. Better talk shit, cause I'm either cause I ain't got
Oh, you really just gonna drop me off there, bud? you guys, you didn't tell me that he creates things. He really be out here creating things. Good things. Things that I like. I appreciate so much how this album is being paced out. Who Dat Boy and I Got Time being very high energy kinds of songs in between these more introspective pieces, slower pieces. I should say. I think everything's been pretty introspective. I just think that's Tyler's nature in a lot of ways. We saw a TikTok earlier in the album, and again, I know Spotify lyrics can sometimes be wrong. But I heard it. We all read it, right? And it seems as though, so this part of the album is about time, these themes on time. So it isn't necessarily a narrative that starts from track one and ends on the last track, but it's not just a collection of songs, though. I think you can have an album be just a collection of songs, and that's just fine. But even then, I think a lot of the time, and at least in a lot of the albums that I've been listening to lately, I've really been finding that, like, okay, here's a bunch of themes that we want to get off of our chest that might be different from the last project. So these themes of time and how we're spending it, he doesn't have time, to deal with these people. He is worried about how much time he does have because he's so bored, and the people he's spending these, that time with, to a little bit more of an identity crisis, so to speak. So again, 911 or 911, could be wrong, / Mr. Lonely, featuring Frank Ocean and Steve Lacy.
A Beyonce, can't see straight, these shades of Celine Dion. Sucks you can't gas me up, shout out to Elon Musk. Yeah, I got a sold out show.
In 2025?
Cause you not front row. I've been looking for a keeper. Listen to the speaker if you fit description.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Woke up in the burbs with the birds. Where you used to come and get me with the swerve. These days you gotta find time, even the night line, work line, without 9.
5-car garage, full tank of the gas.
I can't even lie, I've been lonely as fuck.
Lonely
I
ass
can't even
nigga.
lie, I've been lonely as fuck.
Like, get
I
some
can't even
bitches or
lie, I've
something.
been lonely as
Weird
fuck.
ass nigga.
I can't even lie, I've been
Lonely. They say the loudest in the room is weak, that's what they assume, but I disagree. I say the loudest in the room is probably the loneliest one in the room. I bet, treat me like direct deposit, checking on me sometime, ask me how I'm really doing, so I never have to press that 9.
Whoa. So, again, it's not so one-sided, as far as, like, two things can be true, right? You cannot want to spend time with, like, your friends or, have a thing where you're like, okay, like, I got to stop being bored all the time. I got to do something, a little bit more worth my time. But then you there's this conflicting sense of loneliness. So two things can be true, and that's very nuanced. It's very nuanced, and I really like that approach. The wordplay in this one was awesome.
Oh yeah,
real tight.
For shoes.
And call it surface level, but I like it. Right? I'm playing like Hasbro, and I know I had a big reaction to fucking Elon Musk. That was a joke, right? I know this came out in 2017. Right. Hey, wherever you sit politically or whatever the fuck, I think it's true to say that Elon Musk did a great job at getting electric cars on the market in a way that people would want to buy them and support that idea and move away from gas, maybe a little bit of oil. That was cool. I also think that there's not a single one of us Americans, right, would not agree or who would disagree by saying, oh, there's too much government bloat. We gotta shrink that shit. Hey, yes. But just using a fucking chainsaw high on like, allegedly high on ketamine and cocaine you're just a clown. Oh, what a funny little guy, right? What a funny little clown dickhead. And so speaking of the McLaren, that's actually the car on the album cover. I was wondering what that was all the way down there. Yeah, and he said all of that, right? All this about being lonely. It didn't say solo dolo once. He is not Kid Cudi. He is Tyler, the Creator, who creates things that I like. I've said this before. Said it today. I've probably said it in the past as well. Again, playing around the composition, just about everything I've said up to this point. Yeah, I mean, that's what I gotta say on this one. Droppin Seeds featuring Wheezy.
Like Adam in the Garden of Eve. My bitch got an apple bottom and she swallowed my seed.
Got these garden flowers popping, of course. I'm dropping seeds, motherfucker, Weezy baby, the boy. Yeah.
Don't recall what album it was. It may have been JID. It may have been Tyler, the Creator. But we have listened to Lil Wayne, at least his features here on the channel. If you want me to react to a Lil Wayne album, as well as any other album, let me know down in the comments. But somebody once said that Lil Wayne either has the best verse of all time or it's terrible. Now, this wasn't the greatest verse of all time, but it was pretty good. Pretty good wordplay, right? And as a prude, we all know that I can kind of miss the sexy time shit. But this was fun. It was fun, short and sweet. Perfect. Okay, so we're moving on to November.
Take me back to November. Hawaiian shirts in the winter, cold water. Yeah, take me back to November. What's up? Can we go on beats or all my day ones turning 3/4s cause the track 7, 5, 7 figures since then life's kinda perfect. Or is it really? Bitch, you know that daily really till it's silly. Hold that Billy, how I really rock. When they can't relate it, this is my last. Let me pull over quick and drive back to November. Take me back to November. Hawaiian shirts in the winter, cold water.
My November was my brother took me to my first concert.
My November is summer 2015 when I fell in love with someone who fucked my whole world and showed me like.
Take me back, 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 take me. I'm travel back and help me find. Take me back, take me back. So I play it to state facts, although I already know the response you gon' say back. At that point I'll hang up, disappear and just stay back. And if you don't, I'll leave a voicemail with the playback.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay, so the song just ends here with, again, going back to this idea of maybe loneliness or not having, like, maybe your person or your people, right? No one is available to take your call. The song opens up with nods to the rest of the album, and this was going to be something I said at the end of the reaction, but I might as well say it now. This album, more than Igor and more than Chromacopia, is begging me to re-listen to it to catch certain things that I missed along the way. You know, I don't think I'm getting everything here. I'm also kind of tired today, so that's partially why. But what if Who That Boy is rhetorical and this shit is over? So that's going to invite me to look back into Who Dat Boy and analyze that a little bit more. And I had to pause the song here. You know, all my day ones turn into 3/4s because of track 7. And we go back to track 7. That's the garden shed. So I kind of felt like, you know, that song kind of put the stamp in. Maybe this is a coming to age story. Maybe this is about Tyler's coming out. And how that relates to, you know, you say day one, so like your best friends, so like the ones that stick by you because of that, or maybe in spite of that. And this idea of November maybe just being like a time you wish you could go back to, or a real true moment in your life, you know, that it was kind of like, okay, like, you know, the rest of my life is determined for everything that happened after this moment. That's kind of what I was getting. My November was performed with Lil Wayne. My November was awesome. I booked my first feature. You know, just we're getting all of these audio tracks from different people explaining their best times. the messaging isn't so in front of your face with this one, and that's what I like about it the most. Remember in an interview, Tyler said that this song was actually about the November of 2016 when he made this album with a bunch of friends. Yeah, and going back to those times, going back to, if he's struggling with loneliness, going back to a time when he didn't really have to worry about that. What the fuck? Glitter.
My baby. Fireworks, I feel like glitter. And every time you come around, I feel like glitter.
On the wall, who the brightest of them all? I never been the doggiest one, cause my self-esteem was tall. So I never seen eye to eye with y'all nigga. Ayo, uno, peso. Never pay attention to when niggas gotta sell, so I keep that buck. I ain't getting no fuck, they ain't build me up, so yeah.
I feel like glitter.
Look at my face, look at that jaw. This is one side of I can't lie. We ain't gonna work out. We a fat boy, yeah, sumo. Got it, memo. Pale skin see through, must be a window. Cause you in the L, could be a DJ when I see.
How you feel? 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 How you feel?
Oh, okay. Before we spoil the last song, before we get to it, I gotta try to say transformative things about glitter. All right? That's what we do here. That's what I try to do. So this one, knowing that this one comes, well, let me just check this just to make sure. This was the album right before Flower Boy, or so Flower Boy was the album right before Igor. I know he probably did the EP here, it looks like, and this is of course what's on Spotify. That might not be everything he's done, just what's on Spotify. But this song with Glitter, I'm seeing glimmers of Igor, seeing what's to come from him. I felt like a little bit more synthy, definitely in his feelings about another person. Like it's cool to kind of work backwards. We just did that with Frank Ocean with Channel Orange, how later in that album, I saw the building blocks for everything that we saw in Blonde, right? These very unique kind of compositions, layering, where I felt, a lot of the first half of Channel Orange was a lot more like laid out, maybe traditional R&B, alternative R&B kind of stuff, right? Where here, it's not so that this sound is foreign to the album, but given the theme of the song, I'm seeing Igor kind of come alive during this song, and it's really cool. I haven't really planned to do the Tyler Creator journey this way, where we start with Igor, then do the latest release, at least at the time, with Chromacopia, and then back to this. So it's cool to see, at least for me, kind of working backwards in that way, to see like, oh, okay, I see where you got it. I see where you got it. And then obviously here, the Scumfuck Flower Boy deal we got going on. Apparently that was supposed to be the original title of the album. All right. So we'll cap it off with a seemingly an instrumental track with Enjoy Right Now Today.
Four.
So that was Enjoy Right Now Today. And I like that approach of just putting an instrumental track at the end. It's almost like it's like the ending credits. I think you can kind of look at it that way. Maybe a revisitation, maybe an overall sense of the sounds that we got in that. Other than that, it was just maybe Tyler, just showing off his acumen to create like a really nice atmosphere, and an otherwise kind of emotionally tumultuous album. Although I think it works with the theme because a lot of this album had to deal with maybe our use of time. And just having an instrumental track laid down where it's like, just enjoy this. It like, if you want to change anything or you want to figure out how to use your time, be present, be here and now, and take each moment as it kind of comes. So that's what I got out of that one. But ladies and gentlemen, I call it recency bias. I think this might be my favorite Tyler album that we've reacted to so far, that I've listened to so far. Whereas Igor had, I think, a very vivid narrative that I really liked, and in Chromacopia, I think it was all these vignettes about, identity and maybe self-fulfillment that was a little bit more locked on. Obviously, kind of culminating with the last couple of tracks off of that one. It's a little bit more enigmatic. So we do still have these themes of, wanting to be loved by a person or, having feelings towards somebody, right? We get into those themes, these themes of becoming your own person and maybe coming out of your shell a little bit. So maybe that in terms of Tyler's coming out of the closet kind of a deal with, songs like Garden Shed, and this idea of loneliness, not liking the people that you're around, and then you take yourself away from that, and then you're bored as shit, you're lonely, and then it's kind of cyclical like that. And it's enigmatic in the sense where listening to this, I was like, you know what? I feel like there's more here that I'm not getting, that I didn't pick up right away. And we get to tracks like November, where he's referencing things within the album and kind of sealing the deal for me that this is going to require a re-listen because it's not as vivid as Igor was, but there's enough interest. He's poking the proverbial bear in my mind that gets all of my gears running with this. It's the best of both worlds because out in front, without looking into it, you get all these great sounds. This is, I think, the best production we've seen out of Tyler, the best instrumentation we've seen out of Tyler, in the sense that it's all very accessible, but you can appreciate the sounds and the percussion as it comes in, and as he's mixing the bass, all of the panning. You can tell that he's having such a fun time in the studio. The wordplay that comes out of this album, I think can kind of relate to those, maybe like standard hip hop tracks, but I think if you spent the time to get into a lot of the ideas in this album, it'll pay off in spades, man. I was super wrong in the sense that, this was definitely not his most aggressive piece. I kind of thought that it would be just because I had heard the pre-Igor stuff tends to be. No, this one was, there is a linear progression between this Igor Chromacopia. I know I haven't caught one of the albums in the middle, but if there's a lot of call for me to do that, I will react to it. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Such a good album for frolicking in a field. Album ends with him opening up a car, and the album starts with him starting the car, making this album a similar loop to Igor. Like I said, it seems cyclical. It this like, oh, I'm bored, spend time with people. I hate those people. Go away. I'm bored and lonely. Hang out with people. These people suck. Go away, be by yourself. And it's just this cyclical thing. I was so shocked when I read him mentioning the tracks when reading the lyrics more thoroughly earlier this year. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, like, as I was about to say that, I'm like, God damn. Yeah, I was very, very pleasantly surprised by this one. I didn't think it was going to be bad, but, just seeing how treasured Igor was, and we reacted to Chromacopia. I believe it was the week that it came out. It was a brand new release. So I was lucky that I got to that kind of in a timely manner. And I I don't think I said this in the videos so far. I wasn't planning on reacting to this week. Some things happened. And I kind of had to work around some things. Wanted to react to a little bit of a shorter album, but one that would, pay dividends in the end. And I think this one really did, man. I was vibing with the pacing of the album, all of the tones. I think that it might be some of his best soundscapes. I think the best build he has on any song is, Look Like Him off of Chromacopia. Although there's Tyler albums I haven't listened to, so if you want me to react to those, let me know down in the comments. So that was my reaction to Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. Sorry if you really liked my reactions to Igor and Chromacopia, and it's just been so long for me to get back to Tyler. It's been on my to-do list, like Shrek. Please let me know your thoughts on my thoughts through this reaction, as well as any other albums or artists or bands that you want me to react to. If you want to catch reactions like these unedited before they come out on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and check out my Patreon, where you can get just that for $1 and some other tiers with some other perks. And if you haven't, make sure you go ahead and like this video so more people like you get a chance to see it, as well as subscribe to me here and subscribe to me for free on Patreon, where you get to see when I'm going live and what I'm going to be reacting to when I'm live. But with that said, I've been Jerry Bees. You've been awesome. Take it easy.
Diggity dog. Diggity dog.